Okay. So good morning. Today, Parshas Vayigash. I would like to discuss a little bit the things that I've seen here and there, and of course, it's I put it a bit in my own source, as they say. Let's maybe start with a typical Manitou that whenever you want to build something, you always need kind of an Ezer Kenegdol, like a husband needs a wife and a wife needs a husband. It should be an Ezer, but it should also be the Kenegdol. In other words, there should be somebody who challenges you. If there's no challenge in your life, then there is no progress. It is the tension that creates a progress that makes you move. If there's no, in Flemish I say spanning, there is no storm. Everybody who knows a little bit of electricity. You need tension, and this tension is something that is important in the Torah, as we see continuously. Two brothers, the whole Sefer Bereshis is always about brotherhood that are not being able to live together. We saw it already at Cain and Hevel, but we also saw it in Lot with Avraham. Lot was the son of his brother, but it's kind of he replaces his brother. We saw it between Yitzchak and Ishmael, and we also saw it between Yaakov and Esau. That we saw last 2 weeks, the idea that Esau was for Yitzchak the perfect son, who was an Osui. He was actually completed, he was born complete, and he saw in him a leadership which he liked very much, and he understood from his perspective that Esau was normally going to be the leader of Israel. But Rivko changed the plan, and Rivko saw that Esau had no intention of going the right path. And yes,
you claim that Yitzchak, Yaakov, Rivko needed Esau to be a better person.
So no, but it's you need always to have two forces. So you need one that is the one that knows how to fight and knows how to bring parnosa, and the other one that is more of the ruchnius. So you always need those two. And Esau would be the one that brings the parnosa, and Yaakov would be the Yoshua Olim, the Ishtom, that will bring the Torah. No, they didn't get along, and that's for Rivko. So Rivko is again, it was like Yitzchak and Ishmael also. Avraham would be okay with building something together, Ishmael with Yitzchak, but it was Sarah that saw that this is not a good idea, and she actually told him not to do it and to send him away. And here also Rivka is the one that saw that Esau would not be the right partner in the Jewish nation, and so she said to Yaakov, "You take away the brocha, take it for yourself." And the whole last parshas were parshas where Yaakov, as I explained to you, where Yaakov made this transformation of being Yaakov himself to becoming also an Esau. So Yaakov had to become an Esau. He had to.
Who decided of the Jewish people, the woman who has manipulated her husband in order to succeed in what she wanted.
Yeah, but she saw the.
If you can summarize what you just said.
Basically, yes, it's the women that Soro and Rivko, they both changed the plans of what could have been, and they understood that it could not have been because they had either Ruach HaKodesh Nevius, or they felt simply that Esau and Ishmael both are not the right partner for their sons to build the nation that requires.
So it's a female view.
It's a female view, yeah. Yeah, also Rochel and Leo, you'll see also. Rochel and Leo is all the whole idea of Yossef and Yehuda is Rochel and Leo also. Yeah. It's a female view. Sorry? Yeah. Very nice. Yeah, also. Yeah. So the idea here is that Yaakov had to turn into an Esau. So he had to inherit all the capacities of an Esau, which was not his natural inclination. It was only at the end when he managed to do that, when he passed all the tests. He was a strong man. He became strong, physically strong. He could lift up stones, and he could negotiate. He could marry himself. He didn't need a father that sends an Evet to marry him. He had to go himself and negotiate with Lavan. The whole thing, when he showed his capacities of of also being pragmatic. It's only after that that he received the name of Israel, and it is only the first time that Hashem calls him Israel is after the Milchoma, when they did the Milchoma against Shem, because it's the first time that Yaakov showed that he can also, I mean his son, that he can also lead a war against another nation. So that's really the sign that, you know, they are ready to build a nation. We also saw, and that's very important, Yaakov married in order to become Esau. Not only did he show his behavior of Esau, he also married the wife of Esau. So Leo was supposed to marry Esau, and Rochel was supposed to marry Yaakov, and the Ezer Kenegdoi, he married also Leo. So in other words, he was in hybrid. What? Sorry? Was by tramp, but the Yisrael Shloilo makes it that it should be that he should have the Ezer Kenegdoi also from his Esau. So it was really Yaakov became an hybrid. Now he had a lot of sons. And there is something very interesting in Parshas Toldos. It says, "Ve'ele Toldos Yitzchak." Ve'ele, not in Toldos. Sorry. Eile Toldos Yaakov Yossef ben 17 shono hoye roye es echot patzoin. Ve'hu na'avi es bnei Bilo es bnei Zilpo nesheovi. Vayove Yossef es gibosom. So we see here something very interesting, that Yossef became kind of, it's not described here very well. He described here as a young man who starts to bring to his father kind of Lashon Hara. It's we don't find in any ways the idea of Yossef receiving what you call it, tzoras, as we saw by Moshe and by Miriam. But it's very interesting how they project here Yossef. So I've seen lately, I've seen in one of those more modern books, a very interesting explanation. There is a medrash. The medrash explains that that when he became a very big, Yaakov Avinu became very big, Rabbi Levi Omar Shishim Reboy Klovim, that he needed 600,000 dogs to manage his shepherd thing. So he needed 600,000. Now we know that you need maybe 2 or 3 for a few hundred. So 600,000 means, in other words, I don't know if you have to take it literally, but it means that he had an enormous empire of a corporate that can be said to be of millions of animals, of cattle, of all kind of thing. There is even Rabbonon Amre Meo Ve'esren Riboy. It's even 120,000. That for each Eder it was one dog. So I had 2 dogs. So for each, so there were 600,000 adorim. Now, of course, this is kind of an exaggeration, because I don't know if there would be in the place itself so much grass. And
the number of the Jewish people that
it's also 600,000. Yeah.
So it sounds very clear that
yeah. But yeah, but that was already another share that I gave.
They even count.
Yeah, that's why. That's the difficulty. So the question is,
what the medrash say? How much is in every Eder?
Every Eder had only 1 dog. So and they had 600,000 dogs.
How many sheep in one Eder?
No, it doesn't say. It doesn't say how many sheep. It says Eder. Eder is a lot of sheep, and Eder needed 1 dog, and he had 600,000 dogs. So it means 600,000. Adorim. So he had such a big enterprise. There's only Adorim, but then he had also Gamolim. He had a lot of camels, and he had a lot of cattle, and so etc. So this was an enormous company. It's not a small little family business that you have. It's an enormous company. And so how do you manage all this? So you need a lot of people to manage a big company like that. And so it's clear from here that this company, when Yossef was born, he showed already a lot of what we call managerial talent. as a young man from 17, he became the head of the COO of the company of his father. And he was, as a 17-year-old already, so who were the managers? The managers were the brothers. So the brothers were managers. And then you have the CEO, which is Yaakov. And Yossef was the COO, the operational manager. He managed all the brothers and directly explained them who should manage who. And so therefore, when it says, and I think it's Abarbanel says that, it means he was managing as Echov Batsoin in the sheep. So he was the manager of the brothers in the sheep. So in the, sorry? Yeah, kind of like you have to do this, manager. As a manager and telling them how to do. Like they tell what to do, the dogs to do, he tells them where to go and what to do. So it's and he was the manager of all the brothers, and this is the Abarbanel, I think. And therefore, Vayove Yossef et Bosom Ro Elaviem does not mean that he went to tell him he went to tell him, as a manager has to a CEO, to the owner. Tell him exactly what to the chief, to the CEO, which was Yaakov Avinu. And so therefore it makes sense that he was the one that reported all the losses and the failures that the managers didn't do, or they did. And therefore it is normal. It is not Lashon Hara. It is simply the way that the business is working. And the Ksoines Passim, is in actual Ksoines Passim is like we have today in the military, where you recognize the level, the hierarchy of a person through his looking at his clothes. So too, at the time, it seems that even like in a business or in a tribe, the level of hierarchy that you were in the tribe was reflected by the clothes that you were wearing. And we see it also that Yehudo gave his psilim, particular psilim that he had, which probably showed who he was, but also hierarchical status that he had in the tribe. And so the Ksoines Passim that Yossef received was not showing, like we say today, he gave him a nicer toy than he gave to the other brothers. In other words, he appointed him to become the COO of the company. That he said, from all the brothers, I need to choose the best who has the biggest talent, and I chose Yossef to be the one, and he gave him the Ksoines Passim. So the Ksoines Passim is a symbol of the status that Yossef had in the company of his father. And of course, the brothers did not like that, because all the time he went as a young manager, he went and he told his owner everything that went wrong, and he was proud of it. He noticed that he doesn't do it properly, and he doesn't do, and there could be improvement here, efficiency there, and maybe we can do a change management, and we can do a activity-based costing kind of analysis and things like that. And of course, it's like everywhere in all companies, you hate those people. You hate them. It's a normal thing, because they always report the bad things that you're doing, and they're always telling you how to do better things, while you didn't do it yourself. First do it yourself, and then tell us how we can do it. Yeah.
We're speaking about the people, each of them, we cannot even imagine how high their taxes. And you are saying they act like stupid communist people that will kill their manager and say, yes, we are one, they are equal. Basically, that's what you are saying. Huh? I'm not even trying to caricature too much. I think it's exactly what you just said.
Well, what I'm trying to say is reading it in the Psukim. When I read it in the Psukim, the Ksoines Passim is not only because the Ksoines Passim is repeated again in Shmuel Beis by Tomor. Again, Tomor, by chance the name Tomor, when Amnon, the son of David, raped his sister. When he seduced his sister, she went out, she had the Ksoines Passim, and it says in the Pasuk, Ksoines Passim is a status symbol. It is a status symbol. So it's clear that it seems to be a very nice explanation on the jealousy and the tension that existed between Yossef being the youngest that rules over all the others.
Knowing that
It's
Judah
mainly,
was the one to deal with.
No. So Yuda comes later. We'll see that. Yes. Yes, Yuda.
this is mainly your interpretation, or you're taking. Yeah, it's
No.
mainly your interpretation. You're taking bits and parts from other.
Bits and parts from others. Yeah, it's bits and parts from others. So sorry. So what would you mean? The connector. Yeah. He's the connector. That's right. Yes. I'm trying to, but I agree with you. I'm trying to read it as, can we read it as a poshet pshat, and then we can afterward add the more hochnistic parts. It's more of the.
So for me, it was just the postulate that it's only a company business.
No, okay. I'm doing it from. I'm trying to do it a little bit more.
From what you said.
What? Sorry.
From what I understand, it's literally a company issue. Maybe I'm wrong, so maybe I misunderstood something.
No. But I'm trying to explain it from a more modern view. The story, and you're right. It does not fit with the way that we can understand it, but it fits very well in the text, and it's not because something fits in the text that it's true. So this I agree with you, but it's a nice view of the way that we can see it. Sorry. Yeah, and between brothers. Yeah. That's true. He is really a family business, and then there's always the one who is going. If the father dies, who is going to be the leader again? And we'll see what is about you, but mainly what is about Reuven. So when Yaakov saw in Yossef basically he saw him to be the leader of Klal Yisrael in that case. So he's the one that if he can manage, he has these skills. He's going to be the good Esau, right? That's why it's called Yossef HaTzadik. You have to add the word Tzadik to it because it's the one that is going to be the good Esau in that story. But they actually rebelled and they revolted against their younger brother. The first thing is they took out his son Hassan and they tore it. In other words, they showed him physical that we remove you from your job. So they made a putsch. They removed him from his job. And then they threw him in a pit. Now, the moment they threw him in the pit, and if suddenly there is an open vacant job at the top of the earth. So who is going to take over the leadership? Who should be taking over the leadership normally? If it's not the youngest, the youngest, it should be the oldest. And who is the oldest? It's Reuven. And then we see here something also very interesting. What does Reuven say? ויושב ראובן אל הבוער, והנה אין יוסף בבוער, ויקרא עץ בגודל. And he tore his clothes. Why did he tore his clothes? ויושב אליך ויאמר הילד איננו, ואני אונו אני בו. What does it mean, ואני אונו אני בו? Where should I go? Where should I come? But it means where should I go? In other words, Reuven should be the natural leader of the new company, let's call it like that, just for the sake of making it a little bit more. What? Sorry? Loshon b'nei Odom. So it should be Reuven. But what does Reuven do? So first of all, he tears his clothes. So in other words, he's saying, I'm not your new leader. Not only does he say that, Vani ono ani bo. Normally, a good leader, if he would be a good leader, what would he have said? Look, you two go to the north, you two go to the south, you two should go to the east. So he should take leadership. So what does he say? No, Vani ono ani bo. I have no idea what to do. Where should I go? In other words, he shows that he does not either have the leadership capacity or that he does not want the leadership capacity. Why not? Because maybe he is afraid that if I'll take the lead, they'll do the same at some point. If I'm with me, what they did with Yossef, so I don't want to be. So he does not take. There is a Yalkut which I was shocked. There is a Yalkut which says that Reuven, when Reuven said to his father, "Don't worry when to send Binyamin. You can kill my two sons. You can kill my two sons if we don't bring him back. We don't bring him back." And so the Yalkut says that Yaakov said to Reuven, "Bechor shoite," an expression which is rather strong, like shoite, bechor shoite, that your einiglich are also my children. What I will kill two einiglich is my children. So they calls him bechor shoite. It says in the output. I checked it, double checked it in Gilad because I don't have it at home, and it is stuck. It says bechor shoite. So Yaakov was very, very strong. So here we see that Reuven clearly does not want to have this leadership role, and he's not somebody that sees himself as being the one that is going to take over. Because this is one of the original questions I always had: where is Reuven in this story? We never see Reuven. And this is no, Reuven does not have it. He does not want it, or he does not have it. I don't know. But it's clearly that he showed Va'ani ono ano ani bo. Ono, what does it say? Va'ani ono ani bo is clearly saying, help me. I don't know what to do now. So he does not show. The first thing that he should have done is, okay, let's go and look for him. He does not do that. So that's really a very important message, very important posuk here that shows that Reuven does not have, and therefore Reuven is, as we say in Yiddish, ausgespielt. He is not going to take over the lead, and so it is Yehuda that shows directly leadership, and he takes all the negotiation with the father, with Yossef. He's the one that shows leadership, and he's also. He develops his leaderships also, and he becomes as Rav Nu from Masham Radas explains very nicely, Rav Padve, that it was the quality of emes that he showed, that the fact that he could straight away did not hesitate, and he said that although it was embarrassing for him that he went to a prostitute and the story was really embarrassing, he didn't mind. He said, I don't care. MS is more important than everything else. And he showed himself that he was a good leader and he was a truthful leader. And MS is one of the strong leadership qualities that one could require to run any enterprise or nation. Yes.
I think that this Mashiach comes, it's going to be first Mashiach and Yossef, and we kill the Mashiach and Yehuda. So my question is this some, sorry?
Yeah. Oh, he came already, yeah. Yeah.
So my question is Yossef in some kind punished or shows that he less of a leadership? Or
what, sorry?
Is he less, is this kind of punishment or is this kind of
so
proving that Judah is better or more important?
No. So what it means, what it normally means is that Yossef he was a talented, he had his own talent, and he was very strong. And you see straight away he rose always to the top. As a 17-year-old, he became the CEO of one of the biggest enterprises. And as a young man, he became the power in literally, okay, came out from prison and he became.
So is there any reason why Mashiach is like
first Yossef to build the foundations, of a nation, practicalities, military, economic, logistics, but that's not enough, because then you're just in one of the nations like the other nations. Then you need a Moshiach ben David to actually take it over, to add the kedusha. But you have to always derech eretz kol molach. First is the derech eretz. Derech eretz means working. First is the parnosa, is the foundation, and then comes the Torah, which is the kedusha and the ruchnius that has to be added on. It's not the other way around. That's why first is Moshiach ben Yossef, and then comes Moshiach ben David. But why does he have to die? That's already nevuah that it will happen like that. So. The what? That the man? Yeah. Very good. Maybe he did not. Maybe he had some inner doubts of whether he should be the leader or not. Maybe should be Levi. The next after Reuven, I would say, is Levi. Levi, who is the Meiser. Yaakov gave him as Meiser Lashem. Maybe he should be the leader. Therefore, he took it. At the end, he understood that it's up to him. He has to take it over. Why? Yeah. The two sons of Yehuda, the two sons, Zorah and Peretz, not the first one, but the second one, are also twins, like Yaakov and Esau. Had the same story as Yaakov and Esau. Peretz wanted to overtake and put his hand. The same story. So what does it mean? Here's the nation, a new nation is born. But it depends. If Yehuda would not agree, if Yehuda would agree to work with Yossef, then that story stops there. If Yehuda and Yossef would not agree to work together, then there is a potential that the nation would continue from Yehuda through Zorach and Peretz. But it did not, because there is Bechira. We believe in Bechira. And therefore the story was told as if we were waiting. Yes, no, we are anxious to know what the end is of the Parshas Vayechi. Does Yehuda and Yosef work together? Yes. Okay, then Zerach and Poratz are just two normal Jewish boys. If Yehuda and Yosef would not work together, then Yehuda could become the father of the Jewish nation. It could continue, again, the same story, another split, and then Parshas Vayechi would continue with another Parsha, where Ele told us Yehuda, and then it would, what, sorry? Arba overs, would have Arba overs, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Just to put in your sense with Reuven,
Yeah.
actually, Reuven, he already lost at that moment. Was not the Bechor, right? He lost it from Yaakov before when he changed the bed.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
He was not the natural leader.
No.
But great your sense actually, I will say even more. So if you kill or you destroy yourself, what you have destroyed is not yourself. Here, when you go to a company and you kill the manager, you don't kill the manager itself, or like with the king. Actually, what authority you touch is the authority of the king. Here in this case of Yaakov. It's Yaakov that you are. When you attack yourself, it's Yaakov. In reality, that you attack.
Yeah.
So in this case, and that's how I would understand the word of Reuven. Reuven is not saying, well, what should I do? I don't know. No, it's not easy. Okay, now we have started to attack our father's authority. Should we continue and go to the end?
Very nice.
And Yehuda was actually the inherit of the Bechorah of Malchus, took at the end the lead, like, you stay at your seat, I'm the one in it.
Okay.
So there is no, it was a revolution that was stopped actually.
Very
nice.
We see
it more in this way than
very nice. So you're saying that actually Reuven is the one that took the lead, but then he said, "Look, we have to stop." He was asking the right question.
Should we go to the end and destroy him completely?
Yeah.
And we restart. We do the full revolution. And here we have Yehuda. We say,
nice.
Come down. I'm the one in charge here for my father. You lost it.
Yeah. So you have two ways of explaining it. Either Reuven is the one that took the lead. He lost already the Bechorah, and he took the lead in asking the question, should he continue or not in this rebellious go all the way up to the father? And then Yehuda said, no, we will tell him a story, etc., etc. Or else the more modern view is that Reuven lacked kind of leadership, and it was more of a kind of a...
For me, it's a modern view. It's going your direction. I'm not going
yeah. Well,
no. For me, if you attack a manager, if you attack a representative of the state, it's the state that you attack. What happened with Yossef? Yossef is nothing here in this story.
I understand, because you're attacking directly Yaakov.
It's a 10 brothers against Yaakov here. Yossef doesn't, and basically you say to Yaakov, you don't know what you're doing.
I like it.
Imagine that Yaakov will do the same with Esau. He would have killed Esau.
Yeah.
What will it mean before he gets the Bechorah in this case?
Okay. let me write it down. I have to develop it further. Attacking Yossef is equal to attacking Yaakov. Okay. Yeah. So he's trying to save him, and kind of he's not sure about what to do here. Yeah. He tried to reduce it. Yeah. I can't do it anymore. Yeah. But in any case, there is a Yalkut. Yalkut says that Bechor Shoyt calls him Bechor Shoyt. So there is quite a critique on he calls him Bechor and calls him. So basically, there is basically a bit of a tension here of Reuven. But it's what is, again, I love it because it was for years that I was struggling with Reuven. Where is Reuven? We never hear of him. The Bechor from Klal Yisrael, we don't hear from him. Doesn't mean anything today to us, Reuven. He should have been the leader. There is. We should never forget. There is.
Actually, you see in music, but anyway, he's talking
No,
It was the second.
always the second. Yeah, seemingly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
from what you said, it's because it's half failed.
Yeah.
So it was a safe.
Yeah, no, but I mean, no,
Yeah,
the English.
it's always a
No,
little
no, what I mean
bechor
to
that
say,
fails.
what I mean to say doesn't mean also the eldest born that will be the.
But no, the first one
It's a
is.
natural-
But
it's a natural
we look
error.
first by him. But if he's not capable, then you remove him. That's how it works.
Yeah, but it's true what you were saying after in the Nach, all the kings,
Yeah,
the
bechor.
inherit were not never the Bechor, and not even chosen. Shlomo was not the Bechor, the one after either.
David
Yeah.
also
It's,
not.
ne- it's,
David
it's
also
never.
not.
No, but
Right.
okay, David was chosen
Right.
by Hashem with a Navi,
Yeah.
but David chose Shlomo. He could have chosen someone else.
Yeah.
It's Bechor. It didn't. It was not even taken into account. And
By
you
the
saw that-
Rebbes, it is the bechor that takes. Unless
Yeah,
they ask,
yeah,
you write in the
recently,
Tzavor, not, and then there is a problem. But
decision.
yeah, by Rebbes, it takes over the bechor. No, it's a good point. The bechor is never taken. You got a good point. Yeah. Okay, the next point, which is also quite a modern view, which I would like to share with you, is what is these 7 years of hunger? What does it mean? Those 7 years. We know that Egypt lives from the Nile, and the Nilus, and they don't need rain. That's the whole point of the Nilus, is they're not dependent on rain. So it cannot be that it was a lack of rain, because even if there's no rain, they don't need it. They receive the water from the river.
Could be storm, could be winds.
Yeah. So yeah,
Destroying the crops.
that could be. So let's view. It's a very, very good point, but I will.
Yes, also sometimes when you have too much water also ruins the crops.
Yeah. Oh, it can be over. Yeah, exactly. So I saw somebody called Effie Meir. I don't know who he is. He's an entrepreneur, and he actually he comes up with this theory, which I just wanted to share. And then you can shoot it. No, don't shoot the messenger. That's the only thing I'm asking. But it's a very interesting view. He wants to say that the hunger was coming from kind of a makas arbe, so that it was how do you call arbe in English? Locust, a locust. So it was a locust that came, and that it was so a locust to come. He explains it also in the element that locusts can eat and eat and eat and not become fat. So you don't see fat locusts. I don't know where it goes, but they eat and then something happens to them. And so this is the symbol of the poro that eats the other poro and does not, the shiboni that eats and does not become. He also combines it with, it brings down that whenever you analyze dreams, you should analyze dreams, not only the dream itself, but the other dreams that was at the same time or rather the same subject, that you have to make a combination. So the Saro Oifim says that there comes a bird, and the bird eats all the food of Paro. All the food of Paro. Very interesting concept. Kol machle Paro, he says that. All the food, or not just one piece of bread, but all the food of Paro that actually he ate. And so that's a very interesting thing. So he wants to put forward that it was kind of an arbe that came. It says by the makkah of arbe, from the 10 makkahs of Mitzrayim, that they have not seen yet such a makkah. It's the only makkah that doesn't say on dam. They've never seen such a makkah because it never happened before. But such a makkah's arbe they've never seen. In other words, they've seen makkah's arbe, but not such a one. So that level of makkah's arbe that the Mitzrayim had when the Jews were there, this was a completely different dimension. But here they had a makkah's arbe. He explains a medrash, and the medrash says, the medrash says that, and there's a problem in the Gersois, that the Mitzrayim, that when it came when the years of the good years stopped and it started the bad years, so it was very quick. So it's like Rosh Hashanah. So on Rosh Hashanah itself, that the moment that the Shnei HaSova stopped, Uvo Shnei HaRov, when the years of hunger came, Shepitoim, B'chalois Aseva, Shoy Adain B'simcha Bo Orov Enasu Cholim. Suddenly, from one moment to another, that the moment that, and they could not find in their house even אפילו ביקשו, אפילו פס קיבר ולא ימוצו. Suddenly. So when Rosh Hashanah came from the year of hunger, straight away they lost everything.
Who says that?
The Medrash Rabbe, Parshas Miketz, from Parshas Miketz, Parshas Tzadik, Seif Vov.
But didn't Yossef store all the
The
food in
Shabbos.
a big pit?
Yeah. Oh, so that's the problem. So why in the houses, all the food that they had in the houses, they disappeared suddenly, but in the big pits, no. So he wants to explain like that Yossef saw that it will be arbe, will be locusts, and therefore what you have to, when you put it away, you have to put it away hermetically. You don't put it away you put it away on the side. It has to be closed properly. If it's not closed properly, you leave it on the table or you leave it in the cupboards like a normal cupboards, the locusts, they find a way in, all the little cracks. And so therefore, the moment that Rosh Hashanah came from the new year, that were the years of hunger, that day itself, they could not find any more bread. Why? Because the arbe ate it all up. Because otherwise, it's very difficult. Why is the chitim, that point is very difficult to understand. It does not make sense. It should last at least till you're finished. I mean, but it seems from the Medrash that it was a very quick transition.
And in what sense? In what sense was the Makkah's Arbe from by the 10 Makkahs so much bigger? There was for 7 years no food in the whole of Mitzrayim, whole Canaan, everywhere, nowhere food.
Yeah, because possibly either they even managed to get into hermetically, ones that could die, they could kill them. In Makkah's Mitzrayim, the Chagovim disappeared. There was not one Chagov left. They could not even eat them because Chagovim are proteins which are better quality than just chitim, which are only carbs. So theoretically, you could say that they made a good deal here. They could just catch the Chagovim. But in Makkah's Mitzrayim, maybe because all the Chagovim were gone, they did not even have the proteins also not from
I think
from
it's a midrash that said that Yossef shows them the way of preservance.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
Otherwise, that's why it was left in other countries.
Yeah. It says in exactly. Yeah. It says in Bereshis Mem Aleph Lamed Hey. So yeah, Yossef. So normally you think they put guards. This Yossef have to tell them to put guards. No, but Shomor means to make sure to keep them well clean, manage close them, show them not to have any cracks, because there will be a crack, they will find a way to get in. And so that's very, very difficult. It has to be hermetically closed, and only then it's a very interesting viewpoint of the what were these years of thing. And the last point I wanted to make is Yankov, he suspected the brothers of killing and selling Yossef. Oh, that's a question. Did he know or didn't he know? So this tension between Yankov, of whether he knew or not, is something which is extremely interesting, because in Rashi, it's clearly, there is a Rashi which says that Yankov kind of knew, because when he says that and he doesn't want to send Yomer Aleim Yaakov Aviem, Oisi Shikaltem, Yosef Enenu, Shimon Enenu, as Binyamin Tikochu Lai Hoyu Kulonu. So they will be taken away and it will be all gone. Is Oisi Shikalto, Melamed Shechosh Shemo, Hogu Oimochu Yosef. So he suspected them. He was never sure, but he suspected them that maybe they killed that they will kill Binyamin or they will sell. Because what happened? They go to Mitzrayim and to get food. They come back and Shimon is not there. But what do they come? They come with money and they come with food. So what does Yaakov normally think? A normal person, the first thing, what does he think? They sold Shimon for money and for food. So they suspected. He suspected, where does the money come from? Where does the food come from? And why is Shimon not there? Like Yossef. Yossef also disappeared. So you are a bunch of people that sell your brothers for money. Ma betza, Yehuda said, Ma betza kinarekes orchinu. What money do we have from killing? That's what Medrash says. That Yehuda says, let's sell him. At least we'll have some money. So Yaakov said, this is a monkey business.
So we only started suspecting at that point. Before that, not.
Oh,
According to
maybe-
Rashi, you can only
we
think.
don't
Only
know.
then he started thinking it.
Yeah, we don't know. We don't know when exactly did he start to. But there is a suspicion of Yaakov, maybe already in the beginning a little bit, and then when already Shimon did not come back, then he started to confirm. And then when they wanted Binyamin also, then he said, I want to Binyamin also. You want to sell him to get more money and food. No, he doesn't want to send him. So it's a very interesting view. The idea is not. I will jump straight away to the psikta, because the question that everybody asked, why didn't Yossef send a message to Yaakov that I'm alive? I mean, that's the first thing that he would do, even when he became the head of the house. So why didn't he send a message? 6 days it takes. I don't know how long it takes to go there. He could have sent a little message. So everybody asked the question. So the Rambam says that because he wanted the dream to be fulfilled. It's a very difficult answer. For the dream to be fulfilled,
when they
kneel before him. So he needed to have. So his father had to suffer all those years just because so that his dream can be fulfilled. Why does it say the Torah? The mitzvahs say to fulfill your dream. There is no such a concept. It's a very difficult answer of the Rambam. Then there is, I saw a psikta, and the psikta Rapsa, I have it at home. And the psikta Rapsa says that when Yaakov, it says that Yaakov was ill at the end, and they told Yossef that he was ill. So the question is, he didn't see each other. Yossef and Yaakov did not see each other. So he says, no, Yaakov and Yossef did not see each other. Why not? Because he was afraid that Yaakov will ask him, very good. And he will ask him, what happened to you really? And he will, in other words, he will have to tell him that what happened, that his brothers actually killed him, or tried to kill him or to kill him. But Yaakov never knew. Yaakov never knew. And that's the whole point. Then when he will tell him that story, and he will be Mekalel his own brothers, and he will make what we call today a family drama. And this Yosef did not want to. So the Psikta Rapsa says that he did not want to actually tell his father. So whenever the father came to Mitzrayim, they talked about the weather, they talked about maybe some Torah, but nobody dared to talk about what happened. Because there is no discussion between Yaakov asking Yosef, what happened? Yaakov did not dare question because he suspected it. And Yosef did not want to tell him because he was afraid that Yaakov does not suspect and that he will tell him, he will be shocked, and then he will be starting to be Mekalel his own brothers. And this is the worst thing that you can do to a father, is to show that two brothers are, one brother is killing or trying to kill another one. So you make a murder and a victim. So you lose two. The worst thing that the father can happen is such a thing. And so he did not want. He wanted to protect Yaakov from much worse than just losing a son, but to have a whole family drama which would destroy the whole cohesion of the family. And so therefore the Psikta Rapsa, that we can understand now why he did not send, because that was always in the mind. It's very interesting because when the brothers of Yaakov, the brothers of Yosef came and told him, when after Yaakov died, your father said that you should forgive us, which we don't see in the Torah. We don't see that he said it to them. But in any case, Yosef started crying. Why did he cry? Because it was the first time that he heard, he understood that the father knew. Because Yosef was in a very big tension. He knew that he did not tell his father that he's still alive. He felt guilty about that. On the other hand, he did not know if his father knew or not what happened. And so he was stuck. He was mamish stuck. They didn't speak to each other the whole time. about that story. Nobody wanted to speak. And it was working on him terribly. So the moment that they said, the father told us to tell you to forgive us, the father knew, he started crying out of emotion, the relief that the father already did not find it weird and was not upset on him not telling him, because he knows that it's not his fault and that he tried to save the family. Makes sense? So he knew that what happened here, that it's not just he went away and in fugue, as they say, he went away from his family and started a business and did not care about his family. There is another explanation. So this is the second explanation. The third explanation is printed in the Talmud Yerushalmi. So there is a Talmud Yerushalmi from which I have at home from Vilna. It's the Vilna Drik, and there is there Maaseh, and they know who he is. I'm just going to tell you because I didn't know that this pshat that I always tell every year. It was printed already here in Omar Ma'asef. So Ma'asef is the person that combines all the portion and puts them into. Then he said that I will not leave. There is still a half a page empty, so I will put my own chidushim in there. And so he explains why not. And this is the pshat that he explains that I always say every year, that Yossef thought that the father was also part of the plot. I don't know if you remember last year, the year before that Yossef, when Yaakov sent Yossef to go and see where the brothers are, and Yaakov was upset on Yossef because what's going on here. I was there, go in front of you. So there was Yaakov was upset on Yossef, sends him to see his brothers. The brothers take him, they throw him in a pit, and they sell him to Midyonim or sell him to Mitzrayim. What's going on here? So Yossef thought that this was a plot of his father and all his brothers to get rid of him, because he is a danger to the community. He has ambitions to take over the community. And so therefore, he thought that the father was part of the plot. It is only after Yehuda said that we told our father that this brother was killed by an animal, that he realized, the father is innocent. And then only then he started crying, I'm Yossef, and then he started asking me if my father is alive, etc., etc. It's only after that, because all the way he was believed that the father was part of the plot. And that's why the contrary, if I will tell him where I am, maybe they'll come and kill me. And so therefore this view is a view that is printed here in the Talmud Yerushalmi at the end of Broches. The Stipler wrote this. He said, and I don't know if he wrote himself, but he said that he found this pshat in the Yerushalmi from an Apokoros, so he calls them Ma'asev and Apokoros, and he said that it is true, it's a Torus, and he asked a question, but to be honest, there is a whole forum that you can find on that, kind of not the Stipler, Chaim Kanievsky, that the time of Chaim Kanievsky in the Psukim, one of the Psukim is not, there's a whole forum, whole discussion about that, if this pshat is completely removed or not. I personally still see a very nice pshat in this one. From a Pasuk perspective, it fits very well in the Psukim, and the questions are questions, but you can...
Is it known who wrote it down?
Sorry?
Is it known who
It's
wrote that?
The Ma'asev means the printer, kind of the one that takes together all the meforshim. How does a print look? All the meforshim, and then he saw a half a page empty, and so he said, "I will write my own. I will write my own here, my own chidushim that he had as a Ma'asev. It's not his word, basically, but he thought of himself to write it down. And wrote all the other pshatim also in Yeshua.
That was interesting. I don't have time.
It's an Apikoros, yeah.
It's so late.
Yeah. No, there was a maskil, that he was a maskil. That the person is known to be a maskil. You can find on Wikipedia. There are some claims.
Yeah, no, I don't agree if it's true or not. I just say it's interview that Mike said.
Yeah,
I mean, there were many Gedolim before.
Yeah. That he had to say that nobody else saw it and told to remove it.
Yeah. Especially because of the experience. It's a strange term, because when they came to Egypt, Yossef tricked them And the only moment you start to be scared is when Yehuda show him who is actually Yehuda.
Yeah.
And Yossef understood he cannot match. But before that, he was sure he can manipulate everybody and
Yeah.
find his way in the psukim. So
No,
saying
because
he will be afraid.
they explain, the other one I saw is explain why did he make all this trick that you are meraglim, etc. It's in order to know, because he thought, oh, they came back to Mitzrayim, maybe they come make tshuva to save me, to pay off to buy me back from my owner. So maybe they came as a tshuva. And so he asked, but he didn't want to tell them that he's his brother. So what did he do? So he says, you are meraglim, so they have to tell now the truth. So by accusing them of the worst crime, they have to say, no, what we did is we sold our brother, and then now we have regrets, and our father sends us to redeem him, to save him, to free him. And since they did not tell their story, in the contrary, they told the whole ganze Meise, they said, you don't make tshuva, I will make you suffer. Bring me Binyamin, because I'm afraid that you're going to do the same thing you did to me, you're going to do to Binyamin, because he's also a son of Rochel. You don't like the sons of Rochels, I know that, because so bring Binyamin, because I want to save him at least from the hands of it. He understood the father was not in the plot, that he kind of realized that at least the father should be redeemed and should be helped. So at the end we saw, in other words, that there are three brothers here. Yossef, the natural talent, at 17 was the head of the big enterprise, and he was really the leader who probably would have been the leader of Klal Yisrael. Due to the fact that they sold him, Yehuda emerged as a new leader, and who developed himself and showed that he had leadership, but also he was very good in Ruchnias, in yeshivas. He built yeshivas, as it says in the Medrash. And so therefore you have suddenly two brothers that have very strong leadership talents. Reuven is the natural, as we would say, the biological leader. Clearly was not the Bechor. It was a missed opportunity for him. He could have shown, but he showed clearly that he did not want to take over that lead. And so Yossef is the one that actually continued looking after the Gashmius of Klal Yisrael, even if they were in Eretz Goshen. As I write here, is the Klal Yisrael still needed Yossef to bring them food. So in other words, Klal Yisrael took Eretz Goshen and did not turn it into a Singapore. You understand? They had the opportunity. They did not turn it in Singapore. They had still needed money from Yossef to continuously feed them, and this was not well seen by the Egyptians. And as we already saw a few years ago, this is the source of anti-Semitism as well that we could understand. So basically, they did not turn it into something very, very big, because this is Yossef. Yossef can do it. And Yehuda can do it, but he's more focused on the Ruchnius itself. And then we saw three shotim of why Yossef did not. We saw also what is the years of hunger, that it was the arbe, the locust, that actually ate everything up. And then we also saw that that Yossef was a natural talent that managed the business of the father, and that it was as the youngest of the brothers. He actually, the question was, why didn't the youngest of the brothers and then the other brothers did not like that, and so there was kind of a jealousy. And the Ksonis Pasim was the cloth of hierarchy uniform to show on which level probably that you can be in a tribe, in an enterprise, and whatever it is. And we also saw the other reason why Yosef did not tell to Yaakov is because he believed that Yaakov was part of the plot of selling him and of killing him, which makes a lot of sense if you think about it. And it is only when afterwards they said that the father was misinformed, that he was tricked, that he said, okay, then he started crying and he couldn't, and then he understood that he has to do something right. Any questions? Any questions? So should we be takezoiche to the gule shleme and to that the dire situation of our brothers in Eretz Yisrael should be resolved very quickly, that all the soldiers should come home healthy, and all of them, 100% of them, should come home in a good spirit and healthy in all their bodies, and we should be able to destroy the enemy of the without having too much pressure from the world to stop us. Maybe the gule shlebo mehr of your
Amen.
Amen.
Shkoich.
Ari,